everything's got very serious all of a sudden. Should I be where I am? Should I be doing what I'm doing right now? I thought about leaving so many times and I was like, when am I going to pull this trigger? When am I going to leave? It happened enough times for me to be like, I don't want to do this cycle again. I'm the only person that can make my life improve. I can't rely on anyone else to give me a better position. I can't rely on anyone to give me more time. I make my own time. That's when I left and I decided that that's it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But what you'll realize once you've made that first leap, you'll figure that out.
Is that stressful?
Very. Shit's crazy.
Last year, we posted a video where we asked 30-year-olds about what advice they would give to their younger self. And of all of the comments, they are loaded up with this one 30-year-old named Suk who lives in New Delhi in India. Now, I know what you're thinking. On this channel, we interview a lot older people than someone in their 30s. But think about this. You are the oldest that you have ever been, and you will never get younger again. So the lessons you learn at 30 might be extremely valuable to you, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or beyond. Today, we are speaking with Suk, and he has one of the most inspiring stories that I have ever heard. He is originally from London in the UK. He worked a multiple six-figure corporate bank job, and he quit his job and gave up everything to move to India. Usually, as you might guess, it's the opposite. So if you're someone who is feeling stuck and you're looking for a way out, this might be extremely inspiring for you. How old are you?
Me, I'm 30.
What does it feel like to be 30?
Shit. It's a crazy time right now, to be honest. I thought like when I stepped into 29, I was like, this was a killer year. It was a great year. And now 30, I'm like challenging everything. I'm challenging the narrative. I'm challenging my own story. I'm challenging like, what am I doing with my life? Should I be where I am? Should I be doing what I'm doing right now? Everything's got very serious all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Pressure's hitting.
Because you're 30?
Because I'm 30. I feel like when I was 29, I was like, yo, this is light. I'm having a great year. And then 30 is like the whole world's shifted.
So obviously with your accent tells
British.
me you're not from here.
I'm British.
You're British.
It's a bit obvious.
Not from India.
Not from India.
But you live in India right now.
Exactly.
How did this happen?
I was doing banking. All right, so I was doing asset management, and then I stepped into venture debt.
Yeah.
It was great. I enjoyed it. I thought, yo, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to run up the ladder. I'm going to get as high as I possibly can. Mm-hmm. And then I had a manager, which me and him just didn't see eye to eye. Wasn't a big fan of him. He probably wasn't a big fan of me. I decided that I'm going to quit. So I quit immediately. I was like, I'm out of here.
Wow.
What do I do with my life? I was thinking.
How old at the time?
I was 27 at that point when I quit.
So that's a couple of years in?
Yeah, exactly. So 27. And then 28 was literally a month after I quit in January. New Year's bonus came in. I was like, yo, you guys need to pay me more.
Yeah.
They're like, no, shut your mouth. So they didn't pay me more. So I was like, whoa, you guys are rude.
Yeah.
That whole thing. And then I thought, if I'm not going to do a career change now, if I'm not going to change up my life now, when's it going to happen? I can wait 9 months, take a break, or I can go join a different industry. I thought if I'm going to join a different industry, I might as well switch it up completely. So,
But you wanted to be in asset management? Like you genuinely wanted that? You like that?
I think it was all money. That's what drives most people. That's what drove me. I'll be completely genuine and honest about it.
When do you know that you should make that change? What are some indications or signs?
Big indications for me were loads of ups and downs.
Emotionally?
Emotionally, just in life in general, I thought about leaving so many times. And I was like, when am I going to pull this trigger? When am I going to do this? When am I going to leave? But it happened enough times for me to be like, I don't want to do this cycle again. I think that's when it starts hitting you. When you're always like, I'm thinking of leaving. One of my other friends, we've had this conversation about 3-4 times now, being like, I don't think I'm happy in my job. And I'm like, all right, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
It's always that bit of what do you want to do? When you find it confusing and you don't have that clarity, that's when you don't know what to jump to. That's why it's always difficult to jump once you don't have that clarity of what you're going to do.
Yes.
Whereas if you know and have the clarity that this isn't the right place for you, that's when it's time to go.
Looking back, you think you should have done it sooner? You think people in general should do it sooner? Like, what's your attitude on that?
I'm a big person on timing. I'm a big person on like when fate, destiny, all that kind of stuff meant to happen, it'll happen. And I think that was the perfect time. And I think at that point, it just clicked. I was like, I'm worth more than this. That's when I left. And I decided that that's it.
If you're in a situation where you're not happy with your life or your job, how do you find the clarity so that you can quit and have an idea on what to do next?
Make time for yourself. Sit down, reassess, rethink. Really put yourself in a situation of blank canvas. Where would you actually like to be? What would you actually like to do? One of the things that I did recently was, what does an ideal day look for me? What does it look like? Go in gym, 6 o'clock in the morning. Next is getting into the office, make sure I'm all good.
Yeah.
Then it's like running up all the work and the different businesses that I do, making sure that I'm all good with those. Then in the evenings, it might be going to go do some random activity, eating a nice meal, and then doing up whatever my priorities are for the next day, go and sleep and then getting a good sleep. But right now, that looks like it's impossible, right?
Right.
So you make small steps in order to get there.
Did you vision board that? You write it down, or
I wrote it down, I vision boarded it. I was like, where would I actually
so you know what it looks like?
Yeah, I know what it looks like. Once you actually know what it looks like and where you want to be, then you can start laying steps to get there. You have to do it. Otherwise, you don't know where you're going to go. If you don't know the end journey, how are you going to walk there? How are you going to get there, right?
Just a sec. If you don't want to forget any of the advice that you hear in this video or any of the other interviews on our channel, we put together a free newsletter and we send it out to you every single week that condenses these interviews into 5 life lessons that will help you live a longer, happier, and healthier life. You can join by scanning the QR code or clicking the link in the description. All right, back to the video. What is life like for you now? Like now that you've taken the leap, you've come to India, you've been here for a little bit, paint a picture of how that feels. It seems like you're way more free than before.
Yo, shit's crazy. Shit is crazy. From leaving my job, I've started 3 businesses since then. One is a clothing line. Another one is I throw parties all around the world. I throw them in Delhi, I throw them in London. London is our biggest, and I've thrown them in New York and Toronto. Anywhere there's a Punjabi diaspora, I want to just be there. I want to see my people. I want to dance with them. I want to enjoy life with them.
I love that.
And then the other one is a tech business, which is completely different. A second-hand marketplace. Anyone can go on there, start selling clothes for themselves.
Yeah.
Depop, Vinted, there's loads out there
that
are doing it, but no one's really doing it in India. So I was like, let's do it. Life's different. I'm my own boss. I need to manage my time. But what's amazing is I'm accountable for everything that happens. And as difficult as that is at times, I'm the only person that can make my life improve. I'm the only person that can really level myself up. I can't rely on anyone else to give me a better position. I can't rely on anyone to give me more time. I make my own time.
Is that stressful?
Very, very stressful.
When you don't have like the fixed hours of working, you kind of fill your life up with them. I don't know if you're like that.
Some days I wish there's more hours in the day. Sometimes I wish I had like 7 people working under me. I wish I had these things. Then you go back, you restructure and everything. You're like, okay, what does an ideal situation look like? What does an ideal position look like? Get there. How do I get there now?
Right.
Start laying steps.
So a lot of people will use money as an excuse not to take the risk, not to make the leap. I don't have enough. How am I going to make it? Blah, blah, blah. What's your opinion on the attitude we should have with money and taking the leap?
Find a limit of how much you need. First of all, it's always good to have a safety net. Always great to have that little bit of money in the bank for a rainy day, whatever you want to call it. But have that safety net first, just to make yourself feel comfortable. And give yourself a time frame. Give yourself a time frame. I'm going to bounce from this from 6 months. I'm going to go do this for a year, year and a half, 3 months, whatever you want. Be realistic with your times. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But what you'll realize once you've made that first leap, you'll figure that out. All those other things you realize are not massive restraints. You can figure those out. You can figure out financials, you can figure out money, you can figure all that kind of stuff out. And I feel like you start prioritizing other things that are way more important.
So what I'm learning is having an actual vision of what that looks like and writing things down and setting like a timeline, definitive goals. That's pretty much it.
You can start as little and as slow as you want. That's one of the other things that people often forget. They're like, first of all, they think, how do I get to that level? How do I get up there? They did what they needed to. They took it slow. Some of them obviously happened overnight. Some people happens. Lucky people. Great for them. It's good, but majority, slow. Slowly, your mindset will change. Slowly, your ideas, your thoughts will change on it because you're already building the habits and you're already making that idea and that concept in your mind more solid. And then you actually can do it.
I love that. What is life like in India if you could compare it to life in the West?
I had to unlearn everything when I came here. And I'm going to break it down in the most easiest, most simplest way ever. I love a fucking supermarket, okay? I want to go there and be able to get everything and anything I want. I want some spices. I want some some certain type of cheese. I want some bread. I want milk. I want all that kind of shit. You can't go to one place. I had to go to another place to get some spices. I need to go to another place to get this thing. I need to go to another place to get some toilet paper. I need to go to another place to get this milk. Another guy who does bread. I'm like, what is going on? So I think moving here is we didn't realize how much convenience we've got in the West compared to India.
Yeah.
But then again, it's very different over here at the same time.
I don't know if you have an answer to this, but how can anyone add more spice to their life when they're back home in a clean first world country?
Oh, always look to get out.
Okay, of the country.
Of the country.
Okay.
Always look to get out. I'm not going to lie to you, yeah?
Yeah.
The only way you add that spice is actually leaving. People are scared of change.
Yeah.
People are shit scared of change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Change is beautiful.
Yeah.
Change is where you learn the most. Change is where you really understand yourself, where you further develop yourself as well. Change is one of the best things that you can possibly get to. So I would say change up your environment. That's how you can keep on adding spice. Change up where you work. Instead of working in your desk, go work in a coffee shop. Go work in a library. Really get creative with it. Stop eating at the same places. Go eat at a different place.
Right.
Just be curious. Get out there a bit more. Get impulsive.
I like that.
Even if you're not impulsive, get impulsive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
I love that, yeah. If you could go back in time, knowing what you know today, give your, let's say, 25-year-old self one piece of advice,
Yeah.
what would you say to him?
Just don't take shit serious. Don't get bogged down. Don't think that this is it. There's so much more to life. There's so much more to everything. Don't be so small-minded. That's all I said. I'm like, get crazy with it. That's all I said.